moving on. Manisha's question. Quite a long question, so I'm free. Some of us are unsure these days about what a Mitra can expect of an order member as an official Kalyana Mitra. The relationship can often feel very one way, with the Mitra showing little interest in the life and well-being of the order member. I think this may be affecting order members' willingness to befriend Mitras. Do you see it as a commitment to be their best friend, in inverted commas, and spend lots of time with them, or more like a mentoring agreement with clearly defined boundaries, such as meeting regularly for an hour or so? Should it be mutual, or necessarily one way, or a bit of both?
It can vary. I think it's very difficult to lay down hard and fast rules. Different people will expect different things. I think an order member who enters into a relationship with Kalyana Mitrata with a Mitra shouldn't necessarily expect that Mitra to take a particular personal interest in them. They may think it quite irrelevant. They may even think it impertinent. That your personal life is nothing to do with them. You are there for them. So that's how some of them will see it. And, well, if that is the case, I think one should go along with that. I don't think it would be a very positive sign if the order member refrained from engaging in spiritual friendship with Mitras because they weren't getting anything back in return. The fact that you give means that you are getting something. It doesn't need to be anything overt, actually, from the Mitra. In other cases, some order members may find that, well, a Mitra is very interested in what they are doing. They may sometimes find the Mitra too interested. Or they might find the Mitra asking, well, tell me, why aren't you so very strict about such and such precept? That might be an awkward moment for the order member. And there are some who would prefer a sort of, well, somewhat more distant, more general mentoring, keeping it perhaps more on the intellectual level. So different Mitras will have different expectations according to their particular character and temperament and outlook. And I think it's up to the order member as the more experienced person to adjust to that. But especially not to expect that the Mitra should necessarily take a personal interest in them. The emphasis, so far as the order member is concerned, should be on giving rather than on taking. But as the relationship develops, I'm sure that in the long run there will be something beneficial, which the order member does receive, does get out of that relationship. Sometimes people come to centers and become Mitras with great difficulties in their personal backgrounds after perhaps very tragic experiences, and they want your attention. They don't want to have to give their attention to you in a personal sense. So one needs to be very aware of that and always have the attitude of what you can give the Mitra, what you can do for the Mitra without expecting anything in return, especially by way of their taking a personal interest in you. After all, that's the Bodhisattva attitude, to give what you can to other people without thinking in terms of a return. But in the long run, a return there will be. It's simply that one shouldn't think in those terms.